Welcome back to the Monster Picker channel. Boy, it has been a while, you know it? You know, with the YouTube woke joke police and everything. Seems like everybody's picking on Monster Picker, but I'm back for another movie review. And I'm being joined by big man here. That's him. And we are going to review the 2015 film, Poker Night. Yeah, we picked this up at the Dollar Tree yesterday. We thought, we gotta watch something. It's been a while. Now we can do a review. Let's review Poker Night.
Yeah.
You picked this one out.
Did I?
Yes. We had a little stack of movies, and we both saw this cover. We said, you know what? That's the one. Let's watch that one.
So then it was both of us. It wasn't just me.
That's true.
All right, so a basic summary, what this movie's about.
What I got from it. It's about a cop who was getting promoted to to lieutenant or something, right? He was a detective. That's what he was. And so it starts off with him leaving a poker night with his fellow policemen.
Yeah.
And they're all superiors to him. And it starts off with him telling stories, and there's something hideous over there going on.
Oh, that's just some big rat over there. Just ignore that.
And so this follows everything that happened after poker night. Oh, now you're like, your head's gone.
I know. What happened to my head? I just lost my head. You were saying that this cop that's being promoted.
Yeah, he was hanging out with his superior police officers in a community that was trying to revamp their police force. And when he left, well, I guess the story happened. The story began.
Yeah, I mean, the young, like a young cop who's being assimilated by the older cops and teaching him the ropes, telling him stories where they're all they share their stories during poker night. This way they can break in the new guys, right? And like, hey, look, you need to do this, you need to do that, and they just talk about, you know, life on the force. These are older policemen.
Yeah, and even though like the present occurred after poker night, there's flashbacks throughout the entire movie to poker night earlier on when they're all together. Yeah. and what this cop is going through. He's trying to apply what he learned.
Yeah.
And remember what they told him.
And it stars, what's that big albino ape's name? I forget his name. What is it?
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. You know, I was looking at it. Ron Perlman in this film, I'm like, you know, he definitely has some, you know, albino ape or something. I think if Will Ferrell and Whoopi Goldberg had a child, it would be Ron Perlman. I really do believe that. Can't you see that?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. Well, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. But yeah, he was probably the best part of this film.
Probably. I mean, it's, you know, he really grabs your attention.
He's a good actor. He's funny, even though he's like a big woke joke libtard. I do like him. I loved him in Hellboy.
When the guy left poker night, he got distracted by this girl that he knew that was crossing the street, and she was in distress. He followed her into the woods, which, as he states, was his first mistake. And then the killer of the movie knocked him out. Yeah. And it begins. He wakes up, you know, the next day or something, in a place that he's not familiar with.
He's been abducted, and he's tied up, and he hears the girl in another room. She too has been abducted, and they're being kept prisoners while some guy, this guy right here, is torturing them. So we don't know why he's doing it or anything yet, but later we learn. We're not going to do too many spoilers here. Maybe not any spoilers.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the story. Yeah.
What we liked about it then?
What do we like about this film?
Well, it had a good cast. Like you said,
the
Ron
acting
Perlman.
was okay.
It had the guy from Breaking Bad who played Gus. I know you haven't got to that part in the show yet, but he's great. There was another actor who had a funny line. You remember what it was? The main character was going to say something to him when he was already talking, and he said,
"Oh yeah, these guys they keep cracking jokes," and he's like, "You interrupt me? Does it look like I'm wearing a dress?"
Yeah.
I mean, they have all these gay jokes. These guys make fun of each other and stuff, and typical
One-liners.
Uber humor, one-liners and stuff. So, I guess the acting was okay. I thought the story was boring. It was so boring.
It was confusing too at certain times
Stupid
because it
and
went back.
boring.
It went back to these flashbacks that the other cops were having, even though like it wasn't what the main cop was immediately involved in, and then it put him in the place of them. So you think that he's doing it when it's really them, but then they show up and just keep switching. It's confusing.
It is like pasting all these little stupid ideas together, and it doesn't work. It's because like it could have been like a made-for-TV movie, like 30 minutes long. They stretched this into like 4 days. This thing, I thought it was never going to end.
Well, we thought an hour had passed, and it was only like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's only been 20 minutes. We're both suffering.
And also, the main character, he keeps talking about hindsight and experience. I feel like there's another word I'm missing.
No.
And like how you learn from your mistakes, but he keeps making the same mistakes.
He's making the same mistakes. Chasing this girl, and his superiors warn him, like, stay away from that young girl. It's like some young girl who's got a boner for him. And she's like chasing him down, asking him for tag-alongs and ride-alongs. He's like, I don't know. But he keeps taking her out. She's cute. That's another bad thing. There's no naked chicks in the film. You don't see anything. There's nothing. There's very little blood and guts gore. There's no blood, guts, gore. There's no big tits. It's just all these things are absent. That needs to be a good horror film. Ultimately, this isn't even a horror film. This is like some drama, mystery, thriller. Yeah. Boring thriller. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it.
So I guess there's nothing we like.
1 to 5 scale, 5 being the best. What do you give this Dollar Tree movie?
Sorry, I'm hungry. I'd give it a 2 because there were some parts I liked. It wasn't the worst thing I've
Okay.
ever seen.
Well, on the 1 to 5, 5 being, I'm gonna give this one a 0. I'm gonna give this a 0 because they lie. They lie. Like Velma always says, you lie. They lied. This movie, they advertise this as a horror film. It's not horror.
Didn't they?
Look at the cover. We got this because we thought it was a horror film.
Oh, well,
Look at this. Doesn't that like a horror film?
That may have just been a poor assumption on our part.
You know, all I could think of is, you know, this movie, obviously it really flopped. They're like, man, we need to make, we spent $50 to make this film. So we need to recoup our money, our funds. So what they did is they like, you know what? Let's put it on DVD. We'll throw it in dollar stores and we'll give it this really cool horror looking cover. And there'll be a couple of idiots out there that will buy this film and take it home and watch it.
And make a review.
That's us! $1.25, but you know what? We watched it, so you don't have to watch it. Now you know better, and so, yeah. Unless you like boring films with boring films that aren't horror, and there's no nudity, blood and guts, and it's hard to follow along, and you just don't really give a shit if the characters die or not, then this is that film for you. Go watch it. Anyways, thanks for watching. That's it. I can't think of anything else. Can you?
There's really not much else to say.
Well, I did think of one thing. Mom, if you had the opportunity, if you could either pork Ron Perlman or Ron Wood from the Rolling Stones, who would you pork?
Ron Perlman.
Over Ron Wood?
Absolutely. He's got a good sense of humor. We would laugh all the way through the second act.
Well, there you go. There
I
you
like to
go.
have fun.
What about you ladies out there? I know I got a big following of ladies out there. Who would you rather pork, Ron Perlman or Ron Wood from the Rolling Stones?
It's funny for you.
Thanks for watching.
Hello, everybody. I'm just here to remind you that happiness is a sweet pup. Stay safe.